Yeah, I only got to finish one paragraph. This,
Me
oh,
too.
Oh, okay. You too?
Huh?
For the book and dinosaur one?
No, I thought we were doing the picnic and
Oh yeah,
tortoise,
picnic. Yeah, I forgot.
but I was doing the tortoise one. I did one paragraph.
You guys can finish it this week and then turn it in when you get it done. And then maybe next week you can share it. Does that sound good?
Hmm.
Okay. Let's get started though. We're going to go to grammar on page 163.
Oh,
Close on that, by the way. 163.
163, 163,
Mhm.
163. I found it.
63. There we go. All right. Today we're talking about quotation marks, and you guys know about this. This is review, so this is going to be pretty easy. Where'd you go, Jonah? He disappeared into his backdrop there. Did you see that, Noah? All of a sudden he
yeah,
disappeared.
he's just like, "Oof, magician."
He's gone. Okay, well, hopefully he comes back. So
Oh, there he is.
there he just came through your
He's a mile
portal.
away.
You good, Jonah? Oh, here comes Olivia. Cool.
I'm getting a pencil.
Okay. Quotation marks are, you guys know that that's when a character is speaking in a story, and there's some rules about that. We've already been over this before, but this is review. So there's two parts of a quotation sentence with a speaking part. Hi, Olivia.
Hi.
We're on page 163.
Okay.
Okay, so the quotation marks indicate the words that are spoken. You put those around what they say. The quote is the sentence in quotation marks, and then the attribution is the person speaking and the speaking verb, like the king yelled, or the princess whispered, or something like that. So it's telling who's saying it and then how they're saying it. So look at these examples here. This one says, the princess cried. My nose has grown too long. So here's where the attribution comes first, and then a comma, and then the actual thing that they say in quotes. And notice that word my has a capital M. That's because anytime in a quote, the first letter is capitalized, just like a sentence is, the first letter. So that's something to remember. And then when the attribution comes first, that first letter is also capitalized like the beginning of a sentence. Then look at the next example. It says, my nose has grown too long, the princess cried. Notice that the quote is first here, but my is still capitalized. It's still the first word of the quote, so it's going to be capital. And then this time, the does not have a capital T because it's after the quote. So it changes right there. And the little comma also after long, and that tells the attribution after that. Here they show you when it's split up into two sides. So you've got half of the quote here. It says, my nose. And then you have the attribution in the middle. The princess cried. And then the rest of what she said has grown too long. So notice my is still capital. It's always capitalized. At the beginning of the quote is always, always, always capitalized like the sentence. And then you have the comma, and then you have the attribution in the middle, and then another comma, and then the rest of the quote. So see how has is not capital there because it's finishing that sentence back here. It's finishing that sentence, so we don't need a capital there. So right here it says, regardless of where the attribution comes in relation to the quoted sentence, capitalization and punctuation rules remain the same. Place quotation marks around the words that are spoken, not the attribution. Capitalize the first word of the quoted sentence. Capitalize the first word of the attribution only if it begins the sentence. All right, and then it says answer these questions orally. So we're just going to talk about this at the bottom here. It says, what are the attributions in the following sentences? So if you know the answer, you can raise your hand. The first one says, "My nose still looks terrible," she cried. What's the attribution in that sentence? Does anybody know? You can raise your hand if you know what the attribution is. My nose looks terrible, she cried. Well, we know that the quote is, "My nose looks terrible." So what's left right here?
She cried.
Thank you, Olivia. That's right. And that is the attribution. That's what that's called, attribution. It's a weird word, but that just means, remember how we used to read remember at the very, very beginning of the year, we read The Dog and His Bone? Remember that one?
Yeah, I
The dog
remember
in the
that.
shadow
Yeah.
was greedy.
Yes. Oh, that's what it was. The dog in his shadow. That's right. So, that was attributed to Aesop's fables. Remember, we used to talk about Aesop's fables because there was a couple of them, like King Midas was another one, Aesop's fables. So, remember how it said attributed to? That just means that Aesop's fables wrote that. And so when you hear attribution, you can think of the word attributed. It's the same thing, it's the same base word. So it just means this is telling who said it. She cried. So look at this one. Think about what the attribution is on this one and raise your hand if you know. It says, "Princess, her father directed, just return the gifts." What part of that sentence is the attribution, Jonah?
His father directed.
Good. Her father directed. Yes, that's telling who said it and how they said it. He directed her. So very good, Jonah. That's right. That's the attribution right there, telling who said it and how they said it. And then the last question way down here, see if you can remember, because I already told you this. What part of a quoted sentence must be capitalized? When do we use a capital?
In the beginning of the sentence.
Yes, good. At the very beginning of the sentence. Good job, Jonah. Or the beginning of the quote. Anytime somebody says something like, look back here, my nose still looks terrible. That's a capital M because it's the beginning of what she says. And then princess, the father is saying that. So it's a capital P because it's the beginning of the sentence that he's saying. All right. So that's how you do quotes. So if you guys write stories that have speaking parts, I know you guys are still working on your picnic story or a tortoise story. If you have any speaking parts, this is how you do it. You can look back on this page and see how they do the quotes.
That's what I did. I had a little bit of speaking parts.
Good. That's good. All right. This, let's see. How about Noah? Could you read the sentence for us today? This is page 165.
Yeah, sure, but I have a question.
Okay.
Well, I'm still on the dinosaur one.
You're still on the dinosaur one? Okay. Yeah, you're a little behind, but that's okay, Noah. We already moved on to the next one, which was picnic and tortoise.
Oh,
So you can check with your mom what she wants you to do. If she wants you to do both or whatever she decides, okay?
okay.
You can talk to her later about that. Okay, go
And
ahead and read the sentence.
also
Then
for my tortoise breakdancing turtle story, I
Yeah.
added some pictures. Was that okay?
Oh,
I added Google Docs. I did it with Google Docs.
that's fine
It
this
was
time.
so.
Normally I don't really want pictures, but for that story, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay for that one. Any other questions? Okay, Noah, go for it.
the next day, the princess's long nose was worse. She was surprised that the apple didn't help her.
Okay, good. Nice reading. And the word is worse. We know that's when it gets bad. It gets like in poorer health, poorer and poorer and poorer. It's getting worse. We know what that means. Okay.
What do capitalize?
Three articles. Go ahead and find those by yourself.
I already did the first three. The three articles are three nouns and the two pronouns. I just need
Okay.
help on the adjectives.
Okay,
But
so
it's
tell us where
fine.
the nouns are. Where are the nouns at?
Day, nose, apple.
Nose and apple. Good. And pause for just a second there. I'm glad you didn't say princesses because it has apostrophe S, which means that the nose belongs to her. So I'm glad you didn't pick that as a noun because that's not a noun in this sentence. Good job. So, Olivia, what about the pronouns?
Mm. She
Good, that's one.
and her.
And her, good. Sometimes her is an adjective. So it can be a little confusing, but here it's actually a pronoun because it's not saying her nose, it's just saying didn't help her. So that means it's a pronoun. Okay, so sometimes that can be different. It just depends on how it's used in the sentence. Okay, so Noah, what about the adjectives?
Mm,
And that's what Jonah said he needed help with too. So look at the nouns and see, look before the
I
noun.
only have two adjectives, so I need
Okay,
help
don't
with
tell
that.
him. Let Noah tell us. So, like Jonah, I mean, Noah, you can look at the word nose. Are there any words before it that tell what kind of nose or whose nose it was?
princess.
Yes, that's an adjective because it's telling it's her nose. Princesses, there's a lot of S's in there, huh? Princesses. Is there another one that tells what kind of nose she has?
Worse.
Yes, that's an adjective too. And there's another one right before nose.
Long.
Yes, it's telling about the nose, telling that it's long. And then there's a word that describes she. So that's all the adjectives in the first. Oh, wait, there's one more adjective. I missed it. Look at the noun day. Do you see a word that tells what day or which day?
Next.
There you go. So see how I do that? I know that adjectives can get a little tricky. So what I like to do is look at the nouns and then look before it. Is there anything that tells more about it? So here we've got apple, and we have the word the before it. So we're going to ignore that one for a second. But is there anything before that? Well, actually,
Surprised.
yes, surprised. And it's talking about she, not the apple. I messed up on that. So surprised is actually the adjective describing she. It's describing her. She was surprised. And that's it. Let's see. We have one, two, three, four, five, five. Good. All right, Jonah, what about the that clause?
So that clause.
That clause. Yeah, where's that at?
That the apple didn't help her.
Good. Right, that.
There,
Okay.
there. Right.
Subject verb pair. So Olivia, help us find the verbs, and then Noah, you'll help us find the subjects, okay? So Olivia is going to find the verbs. Look at the words that don't have a label yet. You see them? Yeah, you're muted.
Was
Was, worse is one. What's another one?
help
Yep. Two more. Look for words that don't have a label yet. There's two left.
didn't
Yeah, the did part of didn't is a verb.
and was.
There you go. Good. It
Mhm.
helps when you start labeling stuff, whatever's left. So that's how you can narrow it down. So who's the subject doing these things, Noah? Who's
Princess?
well, look at was, that's the verb was worse. So this is actually not a who question, this is a what. What
Oh,
was worse? What was worse for the princess?
her nose.
Her nose. So that
I, f-
becomes the subject.
I forgot nose could be a subject.
Yeah,
And
it's a noun.
also, um, you know what's easier to find the subjects if you look at the nouns.
Yeah, you can look at the nouns. Sometimes they're a pronoun though, huh? Like this next one.
Um,
Who was surprised right here, Noah?
She.
She. So this is actually a pronoun.
yeah, so it
And
could
that's
be
the subject.
any of the nouns, like pronoun or noun.
Yes, very good. And then inside the that clause, what was it that didn't help her? So we had the verbs didn't help her.
Apple.
The apple. Good. That's the subject. Very good. All
Apple.
right. Did you guys notice that we're missing an apostrophe?
Yep, I already see. I,
Jason didn't.
I saw it. I already know it. I already know it.
Between the N and the T. Good job, you guys. Didn't. We need that apostrophe. We need an end mark. That's easy. Just a period. And then the capitals are at the beginning of those sentences.
1, 2, 3.
Did you
1,
do it?
2, 3.
I think we got it. All right. You guys are getting really close to finishing this book. Pretty
Mwah.
exciting. Okay, so we're done with the grammar. You guys
And
can
also,
decide. Go ahead,
and
Jonah.
um, this pen, I write with this pen, but
Oh, that's
how you turn it on and off, because there's a there's a slidable holder right here. There's that turns it on, and
ah.
it's erasable. There's an erasable.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, we're going to move on to the binder. And I know you guys are still working on your paper about the picnic and tortoise, or maybe book and dinosaur, whatever you guys are working on. So we're going to just leave that in your front pocket until you're done with it. Okay. But we got to move on to the next lesson. So inside your binder at the beginning, after that source text tab at the beginning, I want you to get out week 17. It's called tortoises. It's it's about 6 pages. Let me see. One, two, three, four. Yep, 6 pages. So you're gonna get out a lot of pages.
Okay, this is the
Okay.
see which pages it is. Note that non-messages that from in and fly. Where is it? It's somewhere over here, maybe.
So it starts on page 139, and you're
Oh,
gonna get out those six
mine.
pages.
Wait,
Where's it?
Okay.
tortoises? I got tortoises?
So
Tortoises.
all the 6 pages tortoises. I leave in my front
Wait.
pocket until I finish that the the breaking teeth turtle one.
Okay, so that's a little confusing because you had a tortoise for your creative writing that you guys are working on right now, but this is different. This is going to be more like a research paper. Okay. So you want to get out week 17. That's called tortoises. This is a little bit different. And then when you're ready, give me a thumbs up.
5,
I also want you to get out this big
6.
white paper that we set up last week.
I
Remember
forgot.
that one?
I forgot. I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Yeah.
I'm
Pronouns.
gonna go get it.
Okay, go ahead. So you need two things. You need week 17, 6 pages here, and then you need
No, it's
this,
not
the
there. It's
big
not
white
there.
page that we started last week.
Okay. I got it. It's in my front pocket, in my binder.
Oh,
Whoa!
good. Yeah, good. That's where it was supposed to be.
Wampa. 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 Wampa.
Okay, Jonah.
I love right
Noah, do you have it out already? Week 17?
Wait, yeah, but I don't have the other thing.
Hopefully you have this. It should be in your front pocket. It's that big white page that we worked on last week. Big white paper. Do you have your white paper, Jonah? Okay, good. Good, good, good.
Let me check on my thumb.
Yeah, it should be in your front pocket. It's a big one. Remember this big one? We opened it up. It's like this, really big.
I didn't know.
We folded it in
42.
half.
It was 40.
Yeah, we folded it, so we made 6 squares on it.
Nope, I didn't do it.
Oh, you know why, Noah? I think you were absent last week, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's why you don't have it. You weren't here. So just get out week 17.
okay. Oh, I forgot my stories right here.
Make sure you close up those rings after you take those out, okay?
Have you guys seen the Starter Swap?
I have not.
It's on YouTube. It's this awesome Pokemon. Yeah. It's
You really
a
like
look.
Pokemon, huh?
Yep. It's a little Pokemon show, but the episode 9 and 10. Well, the episode 9 is the saddest.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay,
which one?
There's
we got
10
to move on
episodes.
to this. Thank you for sharing that, Jonah. Olivia, are you back? Or are you still looking for your stuff? So I got to remind you guys, it's really, really important that right after class, when we say goodbye to each other, you need to put all of this in your front pocket. That way you have it, okay? Because sometimes I think you forget to do that part and then you lose it. So keep everything in that front pocket of your binder after class. So we're gonna move on. I'm recording this, so you might need to go back and watch part of this, Noah and Olivia, because you don't have this paper ready, Noah, and I don't have time to help you get it ready. So you can just watch what I'm doing, okay? And do it later. But Jonah, I know you're ready. So, and Olivia's finding her stuff. So Jonah, you see where we have the A right here?
Yep. The
And we
A.
had 1 through 4, but I want you to add a 5 to A, B, and C. Okay.
Where? 5. We're gonna add a 5.
Just add a 5. So put 5 here and 5 on B and 5 on C. Okay.
That's okay.
Got it? Okay. And then in the box under A, do you have a blank box right here, Jonah? It's blank.
Under A? Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to put the word steps here. And what we're going to talk about is the steps to writing a research paper with multiple resources. Remember how last week we talked about where we can get information from? Where are some places, Jonah, that we talked about where if you wanted to write a report about volcanoes, where can you find information about volcanoes?
Where there's volcanoes like in Hawaii.
Like go to a volcano, that's one way. What's another way to get information?
Research
Where do
on
you
the
research?
on the computers
On the
or on the
computer, so
phone,
like
on
websites, yeah,
tablet. Yep.
and the tablet, yeah. So you could go onto Google and type in volcanoes, and then you're going to get all kinds of videos and articles and different things about volcanoes. Where else can you find information about volcanoes?
Hmm. If you
Go to a library and read a book about volcanoes.
Yes, was that you, Noah, that said that? Yes, that's right. You could go to the library and you can ask.
or if
Mhm.
you go on the online classes of volcanoes.
You could, but you could even go to the real library and go to the librarian and say, I need a book on volcanoes. And then she would help you, he or she would help you find the books. So that's right, Noah. That's another place. So there's lots of places we could get information about volcanoes. So this one about tortoises, they gave us the information we need for it. But if you were to do a research paper all by yourself, you would go find information from those places. So, but that's why we have A, B, and C at the top here. We're going to pretend,
And then say
yeah, these are different. Sources. Okay, so under the word steps, just put a number one here and put the word subject. And you're going to write this, Jonah, and Noah, you're just going to watch because you can do this later since you don't have your paper ready yet. Subject. So, and then I put a little equal sign. Did you guys see that? So that means what is our subject of our paper? What are we writing about? I know we're writing about tortoises. So I'm going to put tortoises. That is the subject. So whenever you're writing a research paper, the first thing you need to know is what you're writing about, whether it's volcanoes or it's about polar bears or it's about Mars or anything that you get an assignment about for a subject. It could be anything. It could be about magnets. It could be about um, astronauts. I mean, really, the options are endless. So you got to know what your subject is first. Okay. So our subject for this paper is tortoises. And then number two, we need to know what
Number one.
some of the topics are. So put that word topics. Now, the topics are the parts about the subject. So if you're writing about volcanoes, for example, some topics could be lava, it could be where volcanoes are located, it could be the effect that the volcanoes have on people and animals, and when was the last time the volcano erupted. All of those are topics about the volcano. So for tortoises, we're going to learn things like what they eat and where they live and how old can they grow to be? And can people have them as pets or are they in the wild? All of those little things are going to be topics about tortoises, but the main subject of the paper is tortoises. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So then the
And
next thing, go ahead.
um, you could have them as pets as long as you don't have dogs. I
That's
had a tortoise once, a baby one, a little one. My dogs killed it.
Oh no. Okay, so for number three, after you know what your topics are, you're gonna write what the KWOs, I put an S there because you're gonna do two different ones. We're gonna do a KWO for A and a KWO for B, and we're gonna not do C. And I'll explain that in a minute. But that's the next step. Once you know your topics,
Ooh.
then you write your KWOs, and then number four is gonna be the fused outline, and I'm going to explain that in a second. But first, do you know what the word fused means?
Uh-huh.
What is fused, Jonah?
Well, it's where you like mix things together.
Good. When you mix things together, and it could be like when you're baking, maybe you're mixing the flour and the sugar together. It's when you mix something and you can't take it apart, right? It's just mixed together. It's fused.
Yep. Just like
Good.
one of the Pokemon,
Oh,
fusion Pokemon,
yeah,
uh,
they do.
Charizard.
They do that. And then the last one here, number five, that's when you're going to write paragraph. Okay, that's the last step is when you write your paragraph. So you have to know your subject, you
Okay.
have to know the topics about the subject, and then you start writing your KWOs and your fused, and then you write your paragraph. Those are the steps to writing this type of a paper where you're summarizing multiple, meaning more than one reference or source, basically. Okay, now that we got the steps down, let's look at the first article. So that's going to be on page
Rat.
143, this one. It's called Sleepy Tortoises. So go to that page.
Repeat and you put this away. And time for your binder. Okay.
Okay.
Why sleepy?
Sleepy tortoises. Now, the first thing we want to do is at the very top of this page, I want you to put an A like this with a box around it. So go ahead and write that in at the top of your page there, because I want you to notice that A is going to match this A. See how they're going to be the same, right? So all the information we get from this article A is going to go here under A.
Hey.
Okay? So we need five facts about the and from this article. So what I want you to do as I read it, I want you to underline information that you think is interesting in here about tortoises,
Okay.
okay? Your goal is 5. If you get more than 5, that's okay, but try to get at least 5 facts from here. So I'm going to read it. You guys focus on underlining facts, okay? It may be hot and dry in the deserts of southwestern United States, but many animals live there, including the desert tortoise. A tortoise, unlike its turtle cousin, lives most of its life on dry land, whereas a turtle spends most of its life in the water. Uh-oh, we lost Jonah here. Where did he go? He
He
disappeared.
went poof again.
He went poof again. Yes. Olivia, are you there? I don't see her.
Yeah.
Following on dry.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, I'm right here on this page. We're reading this one. They have round and stumpy feet instead of webbed feet like turtles. Tortoises cannot swim. A desert tortoise can actually live without drinking water for an entire year. That is because it gets water from the plants it eats. Some people have desert tortoises as pets. However, they may not be moved across state borders or captured from the wild. They can only be given as a gift from one private owner to another. Tortoise owners should have large fenced yards with lots of shade, as well as sunny areas where the tortoises can bask. Because tortoises hibernate, pet owners should have a place for them to sleep from October through February. Oh, here comes Jonah back. Okay, so hopefully you had a chance to underline some of that information. And
Wait, do I underline it too?
yeah, you can
Oh,
underline it too.
I can go do that then.
I'm going to kind of go back through and pick. I'm going to underline southwestern United States because that's where they're located.
So sorry I left because my thing died.
Uh-oh, okay. That's okay. Um, and I'm going to underline round, stumpy feet instead of webbed feet like turtles. I thought that was interesting. And they can live without drinking water for an entire year. And they get water from the plants it eats. So I'm just going to underline that part. You guys might have different stuff underlined, and that's okay. You don't have to copy mine. Um, I like this part about the tortoise owners. They have to have a large fenced area with lots of shade, as well as sunny areas. And then the part where they hibernate, October through February. So I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's okay. I have 6. I think I can use this first one here next to the Roman numeral on my outline. So now I'm going to do this first one with you, but here's the thing. If you already know what you want to put on your outline, you can work on it by yourself. Let's do the first one together though. Roman numeral 1 right here. They live in the southwestern United States. They live in the deserts. So I'm going to put hot deserts, and then I'm going to put southwestern, and then I'm going to put US. Hot desert, southwestern US. That's where they live. And by the way, right next to that A, and don't worry about writing this down, Noah, because I know that you haven't set this up yet, so you can catch up later. I want to put the name of this article is called Sleepy Tortoises, right next to the A part. Olivia, did you have a question?
I just found my paper.
Oh, good. This one, the big white one?
Yes.
Okay. So you can either copy this down now or you can copy it down later from the video.
Okay.
Either way. And then I want you guys to start working on the keyword outline at the top too. I'll zoom in a little so you can see it better. So from here, the 1 through 5, you get to pick what facts you want to put there. I'm going to write down some facts too. You can either copy mine or you can write your own. Okay?
Southwestern.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, and like I said, Jonah, if you have different facts that you underlined, that's okay. I'm going to put the one that says round, stumpy feet instead of webbed feet like turtles. So I'm going to put round, oops, OUND, stumpy, and then I'm going to draw a foot. That's a foot, in case you didn't know. Um, and then I'm going to put webbed and circle that and cross it out, not webbed.
Round.
And then I'm putting a T here for turtle. If you want to copy mine, you can. You don't have to do it like I did it. You guys can put your own facts down from the paper, but this is what I'm choosing to put down.
I drew a foot too.
The next one I thought was interesting is they can live without drinking water for an entire year. So I'm going to put live and then water and circle that and cross it out. Entire and then year, I'm just going to put YR.
Okay, so now
Okay. You can keep going ahead of me if you have other facts you want to put down. My next fact is, oh, and it says because it gets its water from the plants it eats. So I might just draw like a little plant here next to it because that's how they get their water. So that's going to be a plant right here.
came out the plant.
Hmm. That's how, so they eat plants, probably like cactuses and things like that in the desert because they have water in them. That's how they
But
get
I
them.
wonder why it's called a sleepy tortoise.
Oh, sleepy? Yeah. Well, you missed it. We read it and you missed it. It's because they hibernate.
Oh,
Yeah. Between October and February, they hibernate. So they are sleepy for that reason.
whoa.
Okay, so then my next one is tortoise owners should have large fenced yards. So I'm going to put owners, large fenced. I'm going to put that. The owners should have large fenced yards. And then I'm going to put shade, sunny areas. And then my last one, I know I'm going kind of fast here, but you can copy if you want. Hibernate, October through February.
I don't know if I did this right because for number one, you put hot desert southwestern U.S. For number two, it's round stumpy feet, not web. I don't know if I did it right.
Oh, because I put this next to Roman numeral 1. So
Oh,
instead of erasing it though, you can just draw little arrows up, maybe that would fix it, or change it to a Roman numeral one next to hot deserts. You can just change it to a Roman numeral one and then change all the other numbers to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that make sense?
all right.
Yeah. You don't have to erase all those stuff you wrote down.
Yeah, I won't.
But yeah, we put this because this is the topic here that we're talking about where they live. That's the topic. And we're talking about tortoises.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Did you write it down, Olivia?
Almost done.
Okay. And Noah, are you writing or what are you working on? You have to go? Okay. Bye, Noah. See you next week.
I know.
Okay. How about you, Jonah? Did you get to write it all down yet?
I just need that last one.
Okay, go ahead and finish writing these down and then we'll go on to the next one.
Okay. Then, because I accidentally did it wrong.
Oh, okay, that's okay. I'm glad you fixed it.
Well, I didn't erase it. I just put arrows.
That's fine.
Okay. Straight sending arrows.
Did you get it, Olivia?
Just one more to go.
Okay, go ahead and do the last one. And then the
Arrows.
next thing we're going to do is read the next article because there's more than one. So now we're going to read the second one.
Okay. Okay. So then,
Okay, good. Let's go to the second article then, which is on page 145.
the desert tortoise.
This one's called the Desert Tortoise. And the next thing we're going to do is put B on top of this one. The other one was A, but this one's going to be B like this.
Bee.
A B with a box around it. And then you're going to notice
Bee. Bee.
B is going to go with B. See that? Okay, so this is going to go with this one. But we're going to read it first.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're going to find some facts in here. So underline as I read. Try to get, actually, technically, you need like 5 facts plus where they are. So that might make 6. So I'm going to go ahead and read it. You underline about 6 facts. Desert tortoises live in the Mojave and Sonoran deserts of Arizona, Utah, Nevada, and California. They are herbivores, meaning they only eat plants such as cactus, primrose, hibiscus, and dandelion. By the way, I forgot to mention something here because when we're reading another article about the same thing, tortoises, try to find things that are different than the facts that you already wrote down. Like so far, it's different. I mean, it talks about the states. We didn't have that before. And then it talks about what plants they eat. We didn't have that before, but you might see other things that we already learned about and we already put on our other outline. So don't underline those. Okay. Try to find different facts. Because there is not much water in the desert, these animals get their water mostly from the food they eat. In fact, they can live without drinking water for up to a full year. So we already have that. We don't want to underline that one. A female tortoise, that's the girl, right, lays a clutch of 4 to 6 eggs in late summer. After 3 to 4 months, a baby tortoise emerges. Adults can grow to 8 to 15 pounds, 9 to 15 inches long, and live up to 80 years. When they are young, these tortoises are light brown. After they are adults, they turn gray or dark brown. They have stumpy back legs, but their front legs are flat with well-developed muscles so they can dig their burrows or nests. This is necessary so they can dig a hole in the cool earth because the desert heat can sometimes climb as high as 140 degrees. Desert tortoises will spend only a few hours each day outside of their burrows. They never come out when they hibernate from October through February. There's a lot of facts in here. We're not going to be able to write about all of them. This is where you're going to pick your favorites.
I'm done with
Okay?
five.
Yeah, good. Well, I know that first part is important because this is going to tell where they live, a little bit more information about that.
That's the first one I did make.
Okay, good. So did you notice I'm not underlining the whole sentence anymore? I'm really just looking for the facts that I'm going to pick out of the sentence. Some sentences have more facts than I want to put, so you underline just part of sentences too. Um, I think these plants are interesting. I'm gonna underline that part of the sentence because I know they eat plants. We already said that in the other one, but this is giving a little more detail about the names of the plants. And then I'm going to skip down here to the female tortoise part. A clutch of eggs in the late summer. And then maybe the part about how big they get. Adults can grow to 8 to 15 pounds and 9 to 15 inches long. Oh, and live up to 80 years. That's a separate fact, really. We've got two different facts there. The front legs are flat with muscles so they can dig a hole in the cool earth. Okay, I better stop there. I think I have enough now. So notice some of the sentences I didn't underline the whole thing. I just underlined the facts that I thought was interesting. So
So
here's
I
what
have
I'm gonna
one,
do
two, three,
next.
four, five. I have five.
Good.
I
So
just ended on that one. Oh, I was about to write another one. Thank God.
I'm gonna put this part right here, the Mojave and Sonoran deserts.
Come back to.
I'm gonna put Mojave and Sonoran. This is gonna be next to the Roman numeral this time, okay, Jonah?
Alright.
And then deserts. And then I'm gonna put initials for all the states. I'm gonna put
No.
AT for Arizona, UT for Utah, NV
Oh.
for Nevada, and CA for California. And that's a big one. But we only have three words, Mojave, Sonoran deserts. And then we listed all of the different states that they're in. And by the way, this one, B, the name of this article is The Desert Tortoise. I'm just going to put that there next to the B at the top because that's the name of that article. It's
Okay.
different.
Victor snoring, Mojave snoring. Des. Later, my grandma's coming over, so we got pizza.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, we asked her on Tuesday. Desert A.
Okay. Go ahead and start writing down your facts now. I want you to try to at least get to three. Okay. We're going to stop at three on this one. So I'm going to write down some of the plants it eats, like cactus,
And VCA.
primrose, and dandelion.
And maybe we could I think I'm gonna do hibiscus, mimosa, and dandelion, and then I'm gonna draw cactus.
Okay. I'm going to do this kind of quick because we're running out of time here, but I'm going to put clutch, 4 to 6 eggs.
That is another list. Language. Obeys. Done.
Grow.
Grow.
Okay.
Okay. Don't say can't
I'm gonna
say.
stop there because um we're running out of time and I gotta show you how to build the fused outline.
Okay. Yeah. Do this. Done.
Okay. So fused, like we said earlier, is going to be when we mix these two together. By the way, we're going to cross out C. Just put a big X over C because we don't need it. We got it
What
ready.
is
We don't need
it?
it. We only needed A and B. That was it.
Bye bye.
Now we're going to combine some of these facts from both here. So,
Oh.
yes, so let's put desert tortoise. That's what our topic is in
There's a
our
bonus.
in this paper. That's what our topic is. And now what we're going to do is decide what facts from each of A and B that we're going to combine down here on the fused. So I'm going to look up here on A. I
There's
like this part where it talks about the round, stumpy feet and not webbed like a turtle. I like that one. So for me, I'm going to pick that one. So what I want you to do is draw. Okay, Jonah, I need you to listen, okay? Draw a line from that fact all the way down here to the number one here. You see that? This fact on A, number one, round, stumpy feet, not webbed like a turtle. I'm going to draw a line and I'm going to copy it right here. So I'm going to put round. I'm going to copy it exactly how it is. Stumpy. I'm going to draw another foot here and webbed. It's not webbed like the turtle, T for turtle.
round stumpy feet.
And then I like this part about what they eat from B. See how I'm kind of taking some from A and some from B. So I'm going to take that number one from B about the cactus. I put cactus, primrose, and dandelion. And I'm going to move that down here to number two. So draw a line from that one all the way here to number two. And I'm going to copy it, cactus. Yours might be different. So put whatever you put there. Dandelion.
Dandelion.
Okay. And then I'm going to go back to A here because I really like this part about how they don't drink water for an entire year. I think that's pretty
No.
interesting because of the plants that they eat. So I'm going to draw a line from number two on the A and go all the way here to number three. See how
The
I did
arrow.
that?
Then right.
Or live, water. I'm just going to copy it. I'm copying the fact right here. Entire year.
Here.
Does this make sense, Olivia? Do you understand what we're doing right here? Good. Okay. Because what we're doing is taking from both and we're fusing it together. So this fused outline is going to have from both.
Hmm.
Yeah. I like the part about the female and the clutch of eggs.
The
I'm going
male.
to use that one next, but
The
you can
arrow.
whichever one you want to put next, Jonah and Olivia. It can be a different fact. I'm just showing you you're going to pick some from each of A and B and combine it down here. So I'm going to put female and then clutch 4 to 6 eggs.
Mm.
And the next part, I like this part, how they grow to 8 to 15 pounds. I think I'm going to put that one next. So I'm drawing the line here. Grow 8, that's an 8 to 15 pounds. And then I like the part that talks about the owners.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if I want to put like where they're located next. I think I might do that. Pick one that talks about where they're located. I think I like this one. Hot desert, southwestern US. I'm going to put that next, right down here.
Mhm.
Hot deserts, southwestern US. And then the hibernate part.
Hibernate.
Yeah,
Mhm.
hibernate
Hibernate.
October through February.
October.
Okay, do you see how I did that? See all those lines coming from both A and B? I'm fusing A and B together. That's why we're calling it a fused outline.
Using
Let me zoom in so you guys can see this part better. After you're done writing all the fused from both A and B, I want you to just do a big circle around this outline, the fused outline, because now that's your job this week. You're going to write one paragraph using only the fused outline.
one circle. That
And you're
one.
going to see on your checklist, you only have one paragraph for this assignment. It's pretty easy.
Yay!
So you're going to use just use the fused. Don't use A and B, only use the fused part. Okay? All right. Did you get it all written down, Jonah?
Yep.
Then you're good to go. That's your homework this week is to use this fused and write one paragraph. I do want you to finish up the picnic story too, okay?
Oh yeah, the tortoise.
Yeah, or the tortoise. Yeah.
Right there,
The
the
made up
tortoise.
story.
Oops.
How about you, Olivia? Did you write it all down? Are you still writing it?
It's done. I just have two more.
Two more. Okay. So class is over. If you need to go, Jonah, you can go, and I'll see you next week. And Olivia, you can stay on if you need to finish writing this, okay?
Bye.
Bye. See you next week. Hold on. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna turn off the recording real quick.